All right, Vern, you're up.
I'm up?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. He just slid his way out of the job.
It's good fun. No, I'll introduce it. But
It's been fun.
let's get your computer up here and we'll start from the start. You're hooked onto the Wi-Fi, right?
Doesn't matter?
Well, you're gonna need to go log in the portal. Yeah, that's right. It's the daily deals or whatever with 2 capital D's.
Can you grab your laptop from here?
All right. Hello, everyone. We are Gimbal, so we do Bluetooth, low energy, proximity beacons. Varun here is going to show you kind of what a back-end portal looks like, take you through the best way to activate a beacon, get started, how you can compile the Find My Stuff app. Yep. And then, yeah, if you guys have any questions straight up on how to do things, how to set up rules, communication, that kind of stuff, we can quickly walk you through that and what that would look like as well. Daily deals with a capital D of each. Yep, go on.
That's it?
Yeah. All right.
Do you have display for it? Yes. Display.
Display. Oh, yeah. All right.
Give me a second here.
So just to get started, has everyone got a Gimbal beacon? Does anybody need any of them? So to get started, you're going to want to open those up and register them in your account. So gimbal.com, www.gimbal.com is where everything's hosted. You can create a free developer account. That's where you're going to find the SDK to download and everything that we'll show you in here. That's where you'll be able to register the beacon. So when you pop open the beacon, there's a unique ID on the inside of it. They're kind of tricky to pop open, so I can even show you an easier way to do that. So if you pinch your thumb at the back, like near the tag part here, face the cue down and just push down with your thumb. It'll pop open. Inside of that is a unique code or identifier just in there. It's 9 digits long with a dash in the middle, and that's what you're going to use to load it into the portal. All right. So gimbal.com, create an account, register. You don't need to register, just log in your account.
Just log into my account?
Yeah, why not? Okay. You don't have anything secret in there, do you?
Hopefully not.
Could I get one?
Oh, sure. Here, I'll go grab a handful.
Oh, I could wait till later.
I'll give you, yeah, we got plenty of them sitting over our desk, so we can give you guys some more here. First thing what we'll do, you can see here on the left, we have a couple of different functions. We do a geofencing function, so you can simply just draw a fence or polygonal or radial around an area and present a message upon people entering or exiting an area. So Bruno will show you that quickly. Name it whatever you want, type in the address, and it'll take you right to where it is. Circle it, really simple. You can write a rule again, like, hey, say welcome to eBay when everybody walks in or out of this area. So dump the SDK in, that works real quick. So proximity is the thing that we're going to spend more time on because this is kind of more the fun stuff here. So we have activated beacon, so you're going to go in here, name your beacon, name it whatever you want, but don't name them all the same thing so you can tell one from the other. So eBay demo, and then this is where you put in that weird number or whatever that's in there. Once you put that together, close up the beacon. So you'll see it in your account here. You'll be able to manage configurations if you need to do that or anything. We have Gimbal Beacon Manager on the iTunes Store, which you can download, which will just show you kind of how close or far away you are from it. That's a real simple way, but we have a better tool that you can get through the SDK. So Varun will show you In here, this is the SDK download.
So we'll
We
just get
probably want you to download the most recent version. I don't know why you would download a later one. So that's the one at the top.
So I already had it up and running.
Yeah.
Right? So I just downloaded the zip file over here, and inside the applications directory, you have two different apps here. One is the Find My Stuff, and the other one is the Walmart. The Walmart app mainly demonstrates the geofencing and the communication features, and Find My Stuff is the one that demonstrates more about the beacons. So let's jump into the Find My Stuff. So once you open the application, the Find My Stuff, it's nothing but an Xcode project. Once you open it, there is an app delegate, as you guys can all see here, and the resolution is bad on this, sorry. So what you do is you basically set the app ID secret in the callback URL, which you can get it from your portal. So initially, when we were in the applications page, so this is where you can create different kinds of applications. You can create an Android application, or you can create your own iOS application, or whatever you want, right? So let's say I go here, I create an iOS application, and I give it a bundle identifier. So let's say com.ebay.demo. So as soon as you generate this guy, it gives you an app secret and an application ID. This is what we're going to be using within our app.
So that app ID is used, so when you're going around and citing beacons, only your application is being associated with those beacons. So there's other beacons in the room and that kind of stuff. It's ignoring them and not actually acting or trying to figure out any information on that. It's a security protocol. If you look at standard iBeacon, it's an open broadcast and people write their major and minor in there, but it's a static broadcast. Our beacons have an encryption or a security piece on there, so the idea is only your application is ever going to be able to interact with it, and other people can't come in and do their own content, that kind of stuff. So that's why the application key is kind of key on that. So it's going to sit there and go, okay, I saw this beacon, I saw this application key. All right, those two meet, allow whatever your next process, push message or any of that kind of thing to interact.
So the beacons that my app would be able to see are only these two beacons, the eBay and the prod, if I'm in the proximity of these two. So jumping back over here, let's see if I have the app ID and the secret. So I go back to my applications, eBay demo, I'll copy this guy and replace it over here. That's my app ID. I go to get my secret, do that here, and I get the callback URLs. Why do we need the callback URLs? Don't worry about it for now. It's going to be, just do it. don't worry about it. It is there for a reason, but under regular circumstances, you don't want to use it, and it's there. So I'll clean this guy. I have the app. Let me try to run the app.
So you can have multiple beacons associated with the same app ID?
Same app ID, and then what we'll go and we'll show you, for a single beacon, you can even have multiple rules and multiple notifications and that kind of stuff. So you can break down, if this is the third time I've been cited or something like that, maybe there's a different message. Or if I'm being cited at, -90 RSSI, I get this message when I'm getting cited at maybe -65 when I'm much closer. Maybe I get another message. So it's like, hey, you're kind of close to something, that's cool, and then, hey, you made it. So multiple roles, multiple triggers off of a single beacon. You can get really sophisticated. You probably won't do this by the end of, Sunday or the middle of Sunday, but you can start having like demographic breakdown and have your rules only triggered to specific people of specific interests and stuff.
And we also have rules that you can set up so that, like, if the sightings that are coming off these devices, they can hit your server endpoint directly. Like, you don't even have to do anything. For the matter of fact, you just specify the endpoint on your server, and we can post all the sightings to them.
We have a ton
There are
of
like different kinds of use cases that you can play around with. But if you have to keep it simple, I would just say stick with the basic recognition of the beacons and identify and build your use cases around it.
But you can pull like a deep link URL, so if you have content listed somewhere else in the application or something, you can make that discoverable.
So I don't know how far you people would be able to see it here. I just got the notification saying,
Wait.
Okay. So we have the Find My Stuff. It basically gives a notification saying that it's going to use your current location. You're going to click OK. And since it's a demo, I bet that it's going to crash. I might have to rebuild it again. All right, so I turn it on. The proximity service failed. Check your connection and make sure the application ID. So that's because I haven't set up my Wi-Fi on this. Just a second. All right, go to settings, Wi-Fi, guest.
So if your phone is offline,
Your phone is offline. You can, if you call that deep link URL, you have to have resolved the beacon ID at some point. So it relies on your phone being able to connect. But if it's like the third time that it's seen it in your role, if you have cached content, it doesn't have to pull something from a server, then you can't present that information. But most of the time, connectivity is needed through the phone. The device itself is just done. It's just broadcasting. It doesn't matter, but it's relying on the phone. Yeah.
Okay, so now, as soon as the app gets launched, it says that it is scanning for beacons. And I insert the battery over here. I hope it comes up. There you go. So you can see that the eBay demo is there, and it gives you the current signal strength. So as you go away from the device, you can see the signal strength changing. And as you come near, you can do it. So, and it also gives you the battery information. It tells you like how much battery is left within the device. So you get called back within your delegates saying that, hey, this is the current status of
And it
it.
shows you temperature as well. That's it.
yeah, what's the temperature? There's like
The temperature is the ambient data. We actually, there's a sensor in there that's part of the chipset that's meant to turn the chipset off if it overheats or anything like that. And we're like, well, that's information that we can pass. Why not? It's never actually needed to do any of that other stuff, but
So we had
it
people
does
like,
a refresh every 30 seconds. You can get, pretty good temperature reading.
and we had people using these beacons under their coffee cups to see like what's the temperature of the coffee in a different hackathon.
Yeah. There's been some funny ones. There was, we were talking with a developer who was doing something for the NHL, and they wanted to send a message saying it's Miller time when it was at about like 4 degrees when it's cold enough. Time to go get a drink. So you can use temperature. It's cool. It's passed. I'm still yet to see a true use case where someone's like, yeah, I needed that, but it's
and
fun.
the distance is, what's the number?
So that's the number is the signal strength of the
Hardware.
Yeah.
How-
So the
how
signal
close
that
you are
it's
to it.
getting, it's measuring how strong that signal is and basing that to determine how distant or how proximal you are to an area.
Can you
So
translate that into feet?
you can run some rules. You'll see a lot of people normally do it as like near. So like anything under like -60 is really close. Between like 60 to 85 is pretty close. Above 85 is far away kind of thing. And
So it's like if you want to determine like, oh, is the user getting closer to the device or is he getting away from the device?
Yeah.
Based on the previous history of the sightings, you can basically determine that information. You can just write a simple algorithm like a
kinda like
histogram and you
hotter
can,
call.
What
Yeah.
types of things might affect the calibration? Like, have you hand over a device or?
Yes, so it doesn't transmit well through water. So think of a human as a big sack of water. So if you put it like behind you and stuff, even that
that's a reason. Like,
deteriorates the battery life a lot. When we do installs in retail and venues and stuff, they put them up high so it can broadcast over the top of people, get a consistent signal there. Metal infrastructure, those other things can affect it a little bit. Obviously through walls it struggles, but then like these dividers here, you'll broadcast right through them because they're just hollow dividers, but like a standard cement wall, no good. You can test it. Figure out that's what that's for. That tool there is mainly to configure and test, so you know, okay, I walked into this room, I can tell that somebody would definitely be in this room based on the signal strength that you're getting. So what message or what content's relevant? Do you want to show them like communicate rule or any of that stuff?
sure. Let me just point out the documentation.
Oh, yeah.
One piece. So once you have the zip file, it also comes with the documentation, the quick start guide. So it gives you the detailed steps as to what you should go through and what you should do. And you can either get started with the existing app, or it also helps you with creating a new app by yourself. So it shows you how to import all the frameworks, what are the libraries that you need, and everything is listed over there. So you can just follow the instructions.
I just walked in. Can you just demonstrate how to get those that secret app secret?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I'll talk to you.
Yeah. I can talk to you right after
We'll
that.
show you afterwards. And also, Varun and Wendell are going to be over at our table pretty much all weekend. So if anybody has any questions, once you dive a bit deeper into it, we'll be able to help you guys out, get you going on that front there.
One thing that I wanted to show you guys is about the delegates, like how simple it is. So here, did arrive, and you get a visit object, and the visit object is going to tell you like what transmitter it saw, and it also gives you like other metadata information, and the depart. So if you want to rely just on the SDK to say that is the user really near the beacon or really away from the beacon, I would just use the did arrive and did depart. But if you're trying to do some kind of arranging where you want to determine is the user getting to the proximity of the beacon or getting away from the beacon, you would be called back on the received sightings method every second with the signal strength, which is the RSSI value. That is what you see here, that is getting demonstrated here. So as you move in and move away, you get to know the signal strength of the device. So you would use this callback. So all you need are these 3 callbacks and nothing else, if you ask me. And you go through the registration process, and it gives you callback saying that successful or failure. That's it, nothing else. And
can you configure how frequently it pulses?
yes, you can.
You're gonna.
I can talk to you about that
Yeah.
outside this room, though. Yes, you can.
It's
You
not
can.
it's just you're going to compromise the battery life of the device very quickly on that kind of stuff.
Because those numbers are set for specific reasons, because we found that is the best optimized way, and also good for the battery and good for background detection. So those are the numbers for regular use
we look
cases.
at how often iOS does a sweep for Bluetooth devices and have it pretty much transmitting the exact rate to hit that interval, so you can get background sighting.
All right, so the other piece that Charlie was talking about is the communicate piece over here. So let's say,
Or do you want to do rule?
rules?
Because they'll probably write them on proximity more than they'll write.
Sure.
Or you can write either. Do a rule and a communicate.
Do a rule on
Do a rule and a communicate, not a rule.
Okay, so you create a rule. So let's say for
So
the eBay demo app.
this is when you were talking about, can I set a specified message at a certain signal strength or something like that. These are the rules that you'll create alongside of those. So you'll have the sighting message frequency, the exit interval. Do you want to talk through what those are?
I really don't want to talk about rules, actually, to be frank.
Okay, well, let's
Yeah.
go through communicate.
It's going to confuse them. Trust me, it's going to confuse
Let's
them.
do communicate then.
Let's do communicate.
Communicate's easy.
All right. So, communicate.
You can come talk to us about that
Talk
stuff.
to me if
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
questions
yeah.
for sure. But, okay, the communicate. So let's say I want to push content to users whenever they arrive at the eBay campus, right? So earlier, we created the geofence, which you guys saw, the Hamilton Avenue or whatever, right, on the street. So let's say a welcome message. And when do you want to do it? So I set it up to do it on the 22nd till the 24th, right? And then the triggers. You can trigger it either based on geofence or based on time. So let's say we pick geofence. Add all my geofences or specific geofences. So let's pick a specific geofence and do the eBay office. All right, who are my audience? So in this scenario, we are saying like every audience. We are not going to be filtering based on the...
Unless you have a set of data, this doesn't help you a whole lot. So
Exactly.
I wouldn't be filtering on a brand new app with no CRM. So select all, or don't get a message.
And attributes. So here, if you have, let's say, for example, you are building an app, and for some reason, when you arrive at that particular geofence, you want to know more information about that place. Let's say it's an Elp app that's integrating with Gimbal, and they don't want to send a notification when they come to the proximity of a restaurant when it is closed, right? So that information of whether it's open or closed, you want to know about when that's going to happen. So you can put whatever metadata that you want within the system over here, which you're going to be called back with your delegate saying that, hey, I also had this information. If you want to make use of it, you can make use of it, right? So for now, we're not going to put any metadata on it. And here we say, welcome to all developers, right? Okay. Description. Hello?
Yeah.
Good food.
So this will be what comes up in the notification. So if you trigger in, this is the content that comes through, and the last bit there was a deep link URL if you wanted to pull content from somewhere else, maybe a web-hosted browser or something, video, image. That's where all that stuff comes from on that.
So when you arrive at this particular place, you get that notification, and you also have the deep link information, and you click on that notification, you can set it up to launch its own browser or your own product links or whatever you want. And you can also set up these communications based off beacons. So that's the other part where you can also do different kinds of things. And
that's it. We got 5 minutes left, so any quick questions?
What's the battery life?
Battery life on that device in the standard configuration is 4 months. We have bigger, better ones, but we didn't bring them with us. That lasts up to 2 years, but you can check them out. Everything's on gimbal.com, and then we'll be over there as well, here to help. Yeah, happy coding. Good luck. Thanks, guys.